All right, we'll call this meeting of the Brown County Commission to order. Commissioner Hanson, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning. First on the agenda, we've got a public hearing on the annual malt beverage on-off sale for Centennial Village.
It's in there. This is an annual because they have so many events, and this is cheaper for the people putting on the events, because this is a straight $300 a year for the village rather than $50 a time for the event. He can still work. He can recoup his money through the rent he charges.
And it will run from July 1st, 16 to June 30th, 17. Is there anybody here to speak on behalf of this? Nobody? All right, is there any questions or comments on it?
I move we approve it.
Second.
Moved by Fishback, seconded by Sutton. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Do you want to do a few of your things, Max?
Okay. The minutes from July 5th.
Move.
Moved by Sutton.
Second.
Seconded by Feldenheim. Any questions or comments on those changes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Fishback. Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Employee step increases. Move them.
Moved by Hanson,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. I think there was 3 in the packet.
Yep.
And all had documentation, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Acknowledge resignation and authorize advertising vacancy for 2 individuals from 24/7.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Feldheim, seconded by Fishback. Questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
There was a lease for the Aberdeen Chamber of Commerce. This happened last Thursday night. What happened was they did their business after hours in conjunction with that concert downtown, and they came in and got the malt beverage because with the weather forecast they were moving it to the clubhouse. So they had their malt beverage approved last week, but they didn't have the lease signed until today. But at least all the paperwork.
They did go out to the clubhouse.
They went out to the clubhouse.
Just the nicest night of the year we've had here downtown.
It was beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yep. Make the call.
Yeah.
I'll move it.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
seconded by Hanson. Comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
There are 3 lottery permits in the packet. One is the Pink Ladies group. They raise money for cancer patients. And the other one is a gentleman doing a fundraiser for his son-in-law. And the third one is Aberdeen Cheer Club from Aberdeen Central. I had questions with Larry on whether they are really following the not to the benefit of one person guideline for those lottery permits.
Split pots are lotteries. Lotteries are illegal unless they meet a number of specific criteria. The first one is that it has to be run by a chartered veterans organization, a religious, charitable, educational, fraternal organization, or civic club, or political party, or a volunteer fire department, or it goes on and on, a candidate for office, that sort of thing. And so it has to meet that criteria. And the second one is that the proceeds can't be for the benefit of any particular individual. And it goes on. Aberdeen Central Cheer is you know, a group that's related to the Aberdeen Central High School. And my experience there is that groups like that, that money goes into to a trust and agency account with the school system, and then it's drawn out by voucher and that sort of thing. So I'm not so concerned about the Aberdeen Central cheer one. Pink Ladies are, I think, are a fraternal organization, if not more than that. And then, but the final one for the medical expenses, it appears to be run by an individual for the benefit of an individual, and although it's meritorious, it doesn't really meet the standards of the statute, and it can probably be reworked in a way that does. But my recommendation is that you defer that and contact the individuals and see if they can do something different with that one. So,
Any questions or comments on those three?
I'll move the Aberdeen Cheer and the Pink Ladies.
Okay. Motion by Hanson,
Why don't you just add in and defer the other one?
And defer the other one.
I'll second it.
seconded by Fishbeck.
And we will contact him or Larry.
Yeah, see if they,
Yeah.
Maybe talk about some other options
Yeah.
that they have.
We'll rework it so that it's more genuine.
Okay, any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries. That brings us up to 8:50. Tom Schmidt, our Chief Deputy Sheriff, is here to discuss the cost of fair security along with the sheriff himself. Come on in, Tom. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Great.
Tom.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about fair security.
Okay. We have, did you guys get the information I put out?
Yes.
Okay. And basically, I think it's just an ongoing maintenance type of thing for the wages. 4 years ago, we had put out for a raise then, and it's just 4 years later, we're just kind of doing that now. I tallied up the numbers for the last 3 years, and each year we can get 14 to 15 outside officers between Aberdeen Police, different county deputies, people who are certified to help us out. And that's really been just the same level, 13 to 14 every year. And as a result, we have to fill in the open security shifts with Sheriff's Office staff. Now, they do a commendable job. You know, they're all trained as far as radio procedures, some surveillance because they already do it in their correctional settings. You know, they do well, but we find that we're paying more for them because we have to pay time and a half due to federal labor regulations than we are for certified officers who can make the arrest immediately. So it just doesn't make business sense that we're getting, you know, and I hate to say less of a product, but we're paying more. And so I guess I'm coming to you to see if, in the hopes of attracting more certified officers to fill in some of those hours, that we bump the pay up from 18 to 20, and you know, really for every hour that we can have a certified officer being paid $20 an hour, we're saving probably $8 to $10 on the backside of having to pay county employees. So I guess it's a consideration for you is that we can actually get a better labor pool with a raise, and hopefully on the backside for every hour extra that they do, we're paying less for the county overtime. And I guess that was for the consideration I was hoping for you guys.
how about the county deputies, won't they be getting overtime now?
They do. We end up having a number of shifts that we sponsor, plus during that week constantly our guys, if they're not busy, they're out the fair, just to bolster what they have out there. But when they work the extra hours, and they're all required to take one minimum 8-hour shift. Some of them will take 3 or 4 extra shifts, you know. Some like the fair, some don't like to work the fair. You know, they'll have highway safety, other avenues of overtime that they can get. But yeah, if the deputies are working past their hours, then they're time and a half, and then you're talking.
But can you get enough other kind of officers that won't be getting overtime? You're talking about the $20 an hour.
We're talking the $20 an hour.
From getting outside
Correct.
county employees? That's what
Yep.
you're talking about?
Yeah, and that's normally.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll draw like South Dakota Game Fish and Parks. We'll draw Aberdeen Police. We'll draw like Falk County. In the past, we've had Edmonds County, Dade County. It really is. We put it out on the teletype statewide to try and draw whatever we can here to reduce our cost for security and yet still have certified officers. And it's just tough to bring them in. A lot of times people don't want to work the extra time. So
Will $2 make the difference, or will we pay $2 and still have the same overtime hours?
I truly don't
That's-
know. Yep. You know, and I guess to be current to even offer it, I think we have to be close to what our starting deputy wages are. Because if it's important enough, you know, and it's an experiment. You know, if we put the extra $2 out and it's a cost, and we still only get 15 officers, you know, then we probably need to take a look at is how can we bolster our security assignment out there, because we have a finite number that we can draw from, and in the last 10 years this fair has just exploded, and everything's gotten bigger except the core
Do
security.
you have more people out there on the weekends when the crowds are bigger than you do in the earlier nights, or?
You know, I used to think that, but now I go out there on Saturday afternoon and there's not a camper spot that's not filled, and people are setting up and people already have food vendors, and it starts by Sunday and it runs the entire week. Now, certainly for the big 3 concerts, you bet that'll draw in more because it's the end of the work week. People are coming out, and if they get a little bit inebriated, they don't have to go to work Saturday or Sunday. So it does draw. I mean,
I know we're not comparing apples to apples, but do you know what they pay the recruits that go to Sturgis to work the rally? Because I think they draw people from across the state.
they do, but I think it's a little different setup because they're hiring those people full-time.
Yeah.
So they're coming in probably 3 or 4 days before the rally starts.
Okay.
And they start their hourly wage, and then once they hit the 40, now it's time and a half for them. And
Do they have a problem recruiting people, to cover the needed security out there?
I don't know if they have a problem filling, but I do know that because they're hiring full-time, people will take vacation to come out there, and they're having neighboring states, states away that they're drawing just to come to Sturgis to work it so they can say, I work Sturgis.
Sure.
So,
Not quite as prestigious working the Brown County Fair.
well, in our brochure, we do tell them we have storybook land, but it doesn't draw a lot.
I feel like we need, at this time that we're going through in our nation with all the different shootings, no matter what excuse, and we advertise as being one of the biggest fairs, and with our big name stars coming in, I just feel we need certified officers. I just feel, I wouldn't want to be responsible saying something happened and we didn't have adequate
Yeah.
security.
At least didn't try.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is that we're trying. Will we ever have what I would like? For 2 out of the 4 shifts, we have 2 people out there at a time on the fairgrounds. Now, that's like a large area. Even on golf carts or 4-wheelers, it takes us a minute to get from here to there. Staffing for me is always, I'd love to have 10 guys at a time out there, but that's not realistic, either financially or even trying to get the staff. But I guess, like I say, is if by bumping the salary up to keep it competitive, and if it brings in a number of more certified officers, I guess I'm all for that. And if it saves money on the backside, then that's even a bonus.
So your certified officers are primarily Aberdeen PD, folks that are local. Do you draw any from further? Fargo, Sioux Falls, do it?
No,
Do you
nobody
have-
from outside the state.
Okay.
Fact is, I'm trying to think, probably Dade County would probably be the furthest we've ever drawn somebody.
Dave? Any other questions?
I think we need to do whatever we can to try and secure the required expected number of people that we think are needed. So,
I think that's a good plan.
yeah.
So the $20, will your budget be able to handle that, Derek? Because that comes out of fair budget.
It does. As long as the overtime offsets it, and Tom and I have talked a little bit about this, and you can't be guaranteed, but we're pretty confident we should be able to ride that wave, and at the minimum, maybe a small increase. So.
Do the entertainment's contracts dictate how many security and things like that you have to have?
They do. There's an initial fully executed contract which states 1, and then in an issue like we had in Orlando with the singer that was actually shot, sometimes there's an addendum that even though the contract is executed, we're still required to raise our security requirements backstage. So yes and no.
Yeah. So
It's situational.
Yep. Last year, we had always had a historical 8 people assigned to the concert, and then whoever else is out at the fairgrounds would supplement. Last year, with the last fair manager, they came and put pressure on her, and we added 2 more per concert. So now we're a total of 10. And that's really the last number that we've raised for 10 years. Otherwise it's been pretty static. We've tried to trim some hours down, like around the machinery and expo, because a lot of the salesmen or the people who have the booths are coming out earlier, so we were able to shave some hours off of that and save some time. But really, the concert was the last time that we've really added anybody, and that was just last year. The one thing that I'd probably ask for is the Midway has gotten so large, with so many vendors. The carnival has really gotten to be a big size. We've always had just one person assigned to the Midway, and what I'd like to do is, like, from Wednesday through the end of the week, is hire a second person for the Midway, just so that we can spread them out. And like I say, we have everything from lost kids to fights to whatever, and it's just a lot for one person to do. So that would be. So I actually have two requests. The first one would be the wages, and the second one would be one more person for those 4 nights, just to bulk up on the Midway security.
I think that's a good place for it.
I think so too.
Well, everybody's there. They really are.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
During the day, there's probably less chance of serious things happening at a carnival type thing. Is a private security firm possible just to work like the carnival, the Midway type thing during the day? I mean, to alleviate that. I mean, I'm not looking, certified officers, I'm sure there's a need for them there, but is it less likely something to happen at the Midway carnival type thing? In just my opinion, I mean.
Yep. And I can certainly furnish you guys these schedules, but with the Midway, we don't even bring them out till 9 at night. So there's nobody there. We have 2 officers that are on duty for the most part during the day, from 8 in the morning until 4, and then they start bringing them in. But during the Midway, we don't even bring them out till 9.
Okay.
Because, like you say, what's going to happen? Everybody's out there, mom and pop are out there, food vendors and visiting. That's not the time that the issues occur. Usually it's after that 9 o'clock. People get bold when it gets dark.
Or stupid.
I'm being politically correct.
All right, so the request is to increase the wage from $18 to $20 for our folks at Fair Week.
I'd move that.
We've got a motion from Commissioner Hayes.
And I'll second it.
Seconded by Sutton. Any other discussion on that?
Same question, was that for certified or is that across the board for the 18 to 20?
That's for certified.
For certain.
But it's actually the outside security. They're not county employees. So if we have part-time Home D staff or we have part-time JDC, they have always, because they're not getting time and a half, they would be paid that $18 rate. So now they would be included in this. It's just, I guess we have 2 things. You're either paid overtime or you're paid the $20. And it's just easier for us for bookkeeping.
Right.
So it's not just for certified, it's for everybody then?
Yeah. And like I say, if it's a county employee, which is covers in almost 180 hours of hours, they would be the time and a half. And that's what I'm trying to reduce while I'm bringing in more certified officers. It's kind of a dance to try and see what I can do to bolster what we got.
Sure.
So.
Did we want to include that extra person then in this motion?
Midway?
On the Midway?
Do we need to really approve that? Isn't that just a management decision?
It's
I
up to
don't
you
know.
because I come
I'm
to you
asking.
because ultimately you're writing the checks.
Right.
I think it's a management decision.
Okay.
I wouldn't think we need to include it in that motion, but I could be wrong.
I just didn't want to let it lie.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Motion on the table is to increase that from $18 to $20 per hour, and that's for certified and non-certified. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries.
Okay. That's all I've got. Thank you very much.
Good luck. Hopefully we get some
Well, I really hope
increase
so.
in applications.
I'm
It's
trying-
a safe year.
But while we're talking, and Doug brought it up, is that there may be a time where we will try and see if we can get a supplemental security, because if we can't draw any more than what we are now, and we're locked in as far as the number of deputies, the number of officers or deputies who will help us, and our own security staff, we may have more responsibilities than what we can safely do. But the tough thing of it is there's not a lot of security forces out here, and they'd have to really have strict guidelines to make sure that.
And that was going to be my question. In the 4 or 5 state areas, are there qualified private security firms that could supply us with enough people.
Yep, and right away you're talking dollars.
Right.
Because if they have to travel, they have to stay overnight, their meals. I'd love to be able to try and see if we can garner some outside folks that they go through a rigorous background or something, that we could actually use them just for some of the less sensitive areas. But I just, the concerts would be great, because a lot of times we're just a human barricade to keep the entertainers safe. And maybe I could use some of those. Maybe you could use them in some of the vendor areas. It's just...
Do retired law enforcement people, do they retain their certification after retirement, or do they need to do continuing education?
They keep it for 2 years.
2 years is all,
Yeah.
okay. I thought maybe that was a possibility, just to get some...
Well, usually they're so disgruntled we wouldn't want them anyhow.
Could cause more problems.
All right, you're taxing your people during the week of the fair, there's more things going on in the fair. There's still the general population through the county that needs to be taken care of. Well, if you're taxing your people to the point of you got all these extra hours, you're not doing your people justice by putting them through that kind of workforce that long a week. Because, how much overtime you're paying, it sounds like it's substantial.
It is. And, everybody is forced to take one shift, so that's an extra 8 hours. After that, and I watch it so that they're not working 24 hours and just getting beat, So we do watch it, but, we encourage them to take what they can safely handle. And we always make sure that there's an 8-hour turnaround between a shift and their next shift, so that they're having their rest periods. But it's taxing for our folks, and we've done it every year, and it's kind of one of those things, we just hold our breath till the end of the fair week, but we also know it's a responsibility when it's the largest population that's going to be under our jurisdiction for the year, so it's a responsibility for us.
We do also call upon the High Patrol, so we get extra troopers that help us, PD helps us too, so it's all law enforcement working together at that time. We usually work pretty well.
The stoplight out there saved us about 4 guys, didn't it?
It does. And deaths, because people are out there and they get tired of waiting and stuff, that stop and go light out there is a real good deal.
Yeah.
And one concert a night's a really good deal. Not too.
All right, any other questions? While we have you real quick, on the sheriff's report, when you guys have prisoners booked in, is the state and other, is that people from South Dakota and outside of South Dakota?
The state. Say that again.
On the prisoners booked in, we have like total adults, you list it, and then we have state and other. Is state the ones, it says 287, is that from South Dakota, and then other is from other states?
No, it's all within here.
It is.
It could be a warrant from Falk County, it could be a warrant from other places. And we pick up people.
Other means other counties?
Yeah, if you run somebody's name and they're wanted somewhere else, we take them
Okay.
here, then we call the county, they come pick them up. So
Gotcha.
that's it.
Just had a couple
State
questions.
is all state charges.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Any other questions?
Tom, what's the significance of the black badges that shows?
It's like a morning band.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think they've asked us to, we have them through Tuesday, so.
Yeah, tragic events going on across the country.
It's tough, it is. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda, we've got Paul Stevenson, CIO, contract discussion. Good morning, Paul, how are you?
Morning, good, how are you?
Good.
I'd like to go into exec to discuss this contract if possible.
Okay.
Move it.
Second. Moved by Feldheim, seconded by Hanson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll go into exec for contractual matter.
We have March.
Yes. Damn. Couple times.
All right, that brings us, we are out of exec, no action as a result of the contractual discussions. Good morning. We're just a hair behind. Apologize for
That's
that.
all right. I just
Kendall's
got-
here from the Highway Department. You're going to talk about a couple things for us.
Yep, James Villy, application for working in the right-of-way. And they're going to be working on County Road 20 and 23, that's in the southeast part of the county. 2 miles on 23 and 2 miles on 20 in the ditch alongside the right-of-way. I didn't think there'd be a problem with that one.
Move it. Moved by Hanson,
Second.
second by Sutton. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Next one is Northern Electric. They're working up on County Road 6 and Road 5. That's west of Frederick. They're going to be boring underneath County Road 5 3 times and County Road 6 2 times, within a mile part.
No
Questions?
No problem there.
Move it.
Moved by Fishbeck.
Second.
Seconded by Feldheim. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries.
And then the next one, I visit with, his name's Carl Eichler, I hope I did.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, he has a water line that was capped off on County Road 9, about 2 miles east of 14. And it's right beside his fence, but it's in the right of way, about 2 foot, and he just wants permission to go down and cap it. The main pump, the main well is on the north side of the road, and the line goes to the south. But I think what happened, I don't know if it was before my time, they improved that road, and the right-of-way was only 33 foot, and they capped it off, but once they improved that road, they moved the right-of-way to 50 foot, so it moved the line into the right-of-way. But he said he's just gonna dig down right there beside the fence, so.
And he's going to cap it?
No, he's gonna uncap it, he wants to get water going to the
web line?
south.
Extend it into his...
No, it's not a web line, it's an artesian well.
It's got a T-shirt on.
Yep,
You're okay with it?
I'm okay with it,
I'll
yep.
move it.
Moved by Sutton.
Second.
Seconded by Hanson. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries.
That's what I got.
That's all, huh? Fairly painless.
Chip sealing, I don't know, the rain put a damper on stuff, but I know some farmers needed it.
Settle your dust too.
What dust?
Yeah, right.
No, we needed the rain,
Which
so...
roads did you
Yep.
chip seal?
12W,
Old 12W, I was just
Yep.
on that yesterday.
yep, got caught on that one with rain, we had to close it off for a few hours. And then 6 from 12W to 13. Now we're blade laying on 20 south of Claremont, gonna try and get that ready to chip seal here real shortly. Hopefully get on it by the end of the week.
That's good.
So, and doing a little gravel, got a gravel.
And
And the blades are going heavy today, so.
And
if they
your
can
bridge
work
looks
it.
good up by Hecla. Are they,
Yeah, they're,
projected?
Andrew called me yesterday and said they're gonna start pulling the asphalt and getting that ready to pave up to it, so
Really?
hopefully by the end of the month, she'll be
Harvest time?
real close.
Wow.
And I see they were working on the Richmond cable rail too.
Oh,
Before
okay.
I see they got the one by the Spillway Drive all tore out. They haven't did the one on the North Bridge, but the Spillway they have. They haul it all into the yard, so.
Sure.
Sounds good. Any other questions for Kendall? All right, appreciate you coming in. Thanks
You
a lot.
bet. Thank you, guys.
Sounds good.
I gotta have you sing. I'll learn one of these days.
I just keep them for a while and then we'll
Yeah.
done with them.
You
All right,
bet.
that brings us to the end of our regular
Oh, I need you
agenda.
to sign them, Kendall.
Here.
While they do that, did you have anything, Gary?
This one.
A couple weeks ago, I had sent you some information regarding if we wanted to, we had some citizens questioning whether or not we wanted to do any kind of fireworks stand ordinance, and just wondering if you had a chance to think about that at all, if that was something you were interested in pursuing or not, so.
Do they have any thoughts?
Is it going to give us any more control or less control? I mean, what do we have?
It could certainly
What's the
give us more
reason?
control and of where the stands are actually at, and to make sure that there's maybe some setbacks between, where the stands are versus a residence and those kind of things. So, and if, depending on how far you want to take it, it could be possibly, some kind of permit fee per year or something to that
Has it
effect.
been a
just
problem?
depending on-
Hate to start something where you don't have...
There seems to be more popping up, more and more, and so it was the time to at least ask
Probably
the
should be able to have to
question.
get a permit.
I was wondering
So we know
if
where
the
they're
fire
at.
departments would prefer that, that way they could kind of have
Well,
an
I think
idea.
that's part of
Something-
it, yeah.
I'd like to see something where they'd sign off of it, the local, wherever the stand's going to be.
Maybe we could have Mites get information from the
Yeah.
rural fire departments as to
Okay.
what problems they're experiencing, if any, and what they'd like to see
Sure.
for
do
setbacks
that.
and permits or whatever.
You got a little time.
Yeah, got another
Yeah,
year.
yeah. Plenty of
Probably
time,
if they do
so.
something, wouldn't be till next
Well,
year.
they have to get a
Say.
permit now.
No, they do
No,
not.
that's the thing.
But I'm thinking the
They
fire
don't.
department might like
These are just temporary,
I
a lot of
think the
people
fire
are just
department
pulling
should
up a
probably-
trailer and selling fireworks,
Where
that's,
they're at.
Yeah.
that's what's
So
going
then what
on.
is it, if they're within the 3-mile area of Aberdeen, that's when they have to get a permit? So
Yeah.
anything out of the 3-mile jurisdiction?
And
it's
what's
just whoever
happening
wants.
is, since their process over there takes, they have to give them quite a bit of notice ahead of time of things, people all of a sudden decide they want to do it 2 weeks before and find out they can't, so then they're moving them out into our area.
I'd like to see Scott work with the fire departments, come up with some kind of a guideline at least, what they think. And I'd like to see anything coming up with the county, have a fire department sign off of it, saying it's adequate distance, adequate protections, stuff like that.
What does
I'll
the
talk
city
to-
charge for a permit for a fireworks permit, do you know?
Not sure.
Those are all things we could look at and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
evaluate.
Yeah. Minimal would be fine with it for me for a P. I'm more into keeping things
Just
safe.
keeping track, yeah.
Too dry when those fireworks are being shot.
This would be the stands, not the shooting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but lots of times
this-
people will buy and shoot right near
They
there.
can't, that's against state law.
I know, and like, I know. I did,
Doesn't necessarily stop it, but
Yeah.
it is against the law, yeah.
its location would be a lot of it.
Okay, so we'll do a little more checking into that before we take any action. Anything else, Gary?
We'll go through the rest of Max's stuff,
Okay.
because I just need an exact after that.
Okay.
It was the proposed resolution for the HR personnel reporting.
Did everybody get a copy of that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, any questions or changes? Okay, entertain a motion to go ahead.
Move it.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Hanson, to adopt that resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Sheriff's report for
Move
June.
Moved by Fishback,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Abatement.
Move.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Fishback. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Auditor's report of account.
Move.
Moved by Sutton, seconded by Hanson. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
There was a survey from Erdos and Morgan. Do you want to fill it out? And if you do, who?
Gary?
Okay. So I'll just
Give it to
Okay.
Gary.
Just what you want to do, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Approved hiring Mike Rohrbach, Highway Labor Grade 3, and Weed and Pest Applicator, effective August 1st at
What I noted?
$17.39 per hour.
Noisy.
Move it.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
What are they doing?
Opposed, nay.
We got water on
Motion
all.
carries.
Scheduled carpet cleaning.
Where's it coming from?
Is it broken?
Gary?
Gary.
Did you leave the toilet running in your office or what?
I don't have one.
The height you're off the sheet.
Yep,
Shut
yep.
the valve off.
What's leaking?
Time out.
Get your camera up.
Yeah, I know.
Darn it! You're missing all the action.
Biggest time.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, it's double the size since I got over here. It's in hot water.
Yeah. It's coming out of the wall.
We need, $100,000 pay raise for this, we handle.
Call it.
Like, when you were missing a couple of 2 or 3-year-olds camping around it, stomping on it. Oh, now it's 3:50 off. And aired it off underneath there because of the main valve, you got to find the main valve.
But here's off. You know, like,
Well, if we have a shop back, we should have a shop back.
No, they're in that back.
Everybody's on TV.
Oh, yeah.
But if you call, shut it off.
Hi, Juju, Shannon. So if you look at the live stream, there's a water leak that is going into the hallway. I'm live streaming it. But going down the stairs. I don't know how long you want me to live stream. It happened right as they were gonna go into executive session. It's completely flooding the hallway. Yeah.
in here. Come right through here. Barry?
Go right here.
Come in here. Barry?
It'll take you, yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm just gonna hang out and wait
Go
and kind of see.
Go
what's
through
going on.
there and then hang a right. You can go through.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
They're working on it. Well, you could shut off the main one, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
I just didn't want it to start running down the stairs. I know it's running in there.
Are you going to bring up the Tracy
gonna finish our
Hay
meeting?
situation?
Gary, that's not going in yours, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay,
He's
'cause
he's in there trying to find the valve.
Let's make it
Another
that
valve.
so all this stuff.
Okay, only because right in that corner, there's a
always
filing
something.
cabinet.
Nothing yet, anyway, coming in.
Tell them, Max, you guys could raise your salaries $100,000 a year, and that'd be the headline out there.
Yeah. That would be. That would be. Oh, it's coming.
Man, it's going. He said he shut the main one off though, so I don't know. It still looks like it's running to me.
Did you get all your things out?
Okay. All right, we had a little plumbing issue, but we're back. We were discussing, we just got done with the abatement.
And the auditors report the survey and Mike Roback hired.
Okay. Did you vote on Mike Robach?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There's a contract with Whitehold for the LED
I second.
Okay. Motion by Fishback, seconded by Feldheim to go ahead and accept the Lighthold contract. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, beer contract, Midco.
Move.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
seconded by Feldheim. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
With the James River, other than, let me see, the counties are notified were Beetle, Spink, Marshall, Day, Roberts, Grant, Falk, Edmonds, and McPherson. And then Chris and Bob at the association, Eric and Meekog, and Dave Bartel at James River Water Development, and then the 9 legislators that cover Brown County.
And that's a week from tomorrow.
Yeah. And I didn't know if there was anybody else.
I did put it, I didn't see it on the travel, but I will not be there.
Okay, it's in town, so, yeah. Okay, Nancy, no?
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be
You guys making it?
I'll be there.
Where are we having it at?
Pizza
Trash. Gotcha.
And that's at what time?
11:30.
Because we're doing 9 o'clock that day budget.
Yep.
Anyone else? The only department heads that I sent it to were the association members. Not the other departments. Is there any department you want invited?
Did we decide on the speakers? Are we still doing both speakers and one?
Last I read it, she sent it on the memo, so.
Works for me.
30 minutes is too long, you can just kind of
Stay awake that long.
say.
Well, I think
Sounds like-
he
sounds
was
like
assuming
church
there
to
might
me.
be questions and
Okay.
stuff in there too, so hopefully it's,
30 minutes is with questions.
Okay.
All right.
Don't ask. That's
Yeah.
all I have.
Okay.
You're okay with who was invited?
I think that sounds good. Don't miss anybody, we can let you know through the week. Anything else, Gary?
yeah, I need an exec for personnel, contract, and legal.
And then,
Second.
before we do that, do you want to do that, take care of that?
Yeah, I got confirmation last night that we'd like to recommend hiring Aaron Doring as the new Human Resources Assistant, starting salary $22.91, starting Monday, August 1st.
I'll move it.
Moved by Hanson,
Second.
seconded by Feldheim. Is there any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And then,
Who was the first and third, the motion and second? On the
I made
executive
Hanson, Feldheim.
Contract personnel
And legal.
the contract and legal are kind of in the same category.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we had a motion for the exec from, was it Nancy and?
No, I got the Aaron Darling. It's the exec. I needed the
Oh,
motion.
gotcha. That's
Dwayne and I.
Dwayne and Nancy. All in favor to go in exec?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This motion. We had one issue as a result of exec.
We make a motion that we hire Andrea Schoen back on a part-time basis to help out the new HR person until she gets on her feet. Effective July 18th and running through August 19th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Hanson. We've got a motion.
When are you gonna put it in the minutes after she gets on her feet?
Just for the dates.
What's the
Now she comes more from lawyer. You gotta watch what you
Any
say.
questions?
Sure do.
Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Anything else?
Read it back, Max.
Welcome back and later draw that
I'll
out.
see if it's politically correct.
There you go. Anything else come up while we were in exec?
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay, motion by
Second.
Sutton, seconded by Fishback. Any other? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Good luck working on the budget next week.